You have any thoughts going into this before we hit that play button?
No, not at all. Not yet.
Let's do it.
We have a little bit of a situation we wanted to run by you.
Mobius. Wow.
Okay, so off the bat right there, that reminded me of Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. It was like a live action interpretation. Why is this keep freaking swinging?
Did they call it? They called it something else though. They didn't call it time slipping, did they?
I don't remember what they
Oh,
called
it's
it.
glitching. They just said it was
Yeah.
glitching.
I mean,
Hmm.
they could just have different terms in like different universes. Not everything's
Yeah,
going to be the same.
yeah, they are. Yeah.
A little good old-fashioned leg work. Listen, we have different styles.
The time slip. I don't think it's anything the same as Into the Spider Verse is glitching. Because Into the
Hmm.
Spider Verse is glitching, their atoms are just glitching in a different universe because they're not supposed to be there. And here he seems like he's just getting pulled into different parts of time through those time slips.
Hmm. So that's
So
why
it seems to
it's.
be something completely different.
Hmm.
Listen, we have different. It's up to us.
Oh, the Zaniac. Did you see that?
Hmm. Yeah.
Right up there. It's like a movie premiere.
Is this cracked?
Yes, Dave.
Make the hard choice.
It's him.
You better run.
Wow. That right there. Oh
Much
man.
better than everything we've seen
Just thinking the
from
same
Marvel.
thing. Honestly, it almost kind of tricks you thinking it's a movie.
Yeah.
Just a little
They didn't
bit
show
though.
too much, and they didn't really need to.
No, I'm glad it's
They
kind of
just
like that.
they just let us know pretty much who's coming back and what the issue is at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, didn't get too much into it. So
Yeah.
I like it. It looks good. It looks promising. I'm very excited for it. The first season of Loki was phenomenal.
Oh yeah. It definitely
Probably
was.
it's definitely one of the best. I would say the best MCU show.
It's honestly the top one in my opinion.
Yeah.
Following right after it, if I had to make a tier list for the shows that we've gotten so far, I'm just going to top three. It'd have to be Loki is number one, WandaVision is number two,
Hmm.
and Moon Knight for me. But the reason I keep Moonlight last is because it was just too short. That's it. That's its only issue is that it's just
Yeah.
too short.
I think it should have been a movie.
Moon Knight should have been a movie. Yeah, it could.
Yeah.
It could have definitely been a movie. Um, I feel personally that this Loki season could have easily transitioned into a movie. I don't think they needed to make it a series. Well, they probably have their reasons behind why they're making it a
I don't
show
know.
for the
I
second
think
season.
for Loki so far, it works a lot better as a series.
Mm. Yeah, I guess you could
Some
say like
characters should have been a movie. Like She-Hulk should have been a movie. It was way too much filler in the middle of the season, like 3 episodes long of just nonsense, just nothing that had to do with anything.
here.
Um,
I don't even think She Hulk
Marvel,
should have been a show or a movie. I think she should have just came in as a cameo.
kind of, I think she should have been introduced like the same way like Falcon was, or like any of like the side characters,
Yeah, through the
because
Fantastic Four movie, she could have been
or that
introduced.
too, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, still, like they could have condensed her story from the show into a movie.
Hmm.
Um, Miss Marvel, Miss Marvel was good. It worked as a TV show, I guess.
It was
Um,
fine.
Secret Invasion definitely could have been a movie.
It could have been a movie, and the ending was terrible. So they could have fixed the ending by so much. So I mean, there's, I guess you could say for Loki being a TV show, and it working, I guess you can say the best reasoning for having it that way is just to elaborate more on like the main storyline
Mm,
rather than us getting all of the other shows that have kind of dealt with just solely the character and nothing to do with the main timeline of what's going on. I think for Loki being that show to give us more details on what it is that's going on, with all the Kang variants and how the timelines are getting messed up. Um, I guess you could say that's the best reason for why they're keeping it as a show still. Am I echoing?
Yeah, like I said, it's probably the best story that works better as a show.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and Loki is more of like a fan favorite character, so it's fun to see the story expand over extra hours that a movie would give you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because it probably would end up being a little bit rushed if they kind of tried to cram all the information of everything that goes on
Everything
in
in the
TVA.
movie. Yeah.
Yeah, it would suck.
So it
And he wouldn't get a second movie. He's not as popular to get a second movie.
I mean, but without the TV show so far, we wouldn't have something as unique as WandaVision either. The
Yeah.
way like the episodes started like in the first half of the season, and then
Hmm.
like got into the serious shit, like towards the middle of the season and then to the end. Um,
Hmm.
that worked out perfectly as a TV show, so I had no need to be a movie or anything.
Yeah, and it was kind of really good to segue into how her character developed in Multiverse of Madness.
But yeah, there was lots of
Like it's stuff like that kind of
backstory and
just,
stuff.
yeah, it just makes sense to do it, and it kind of helps the story play out. So like for her acting and the way that she did in Multiverse of Madness, you watch WandaVision for it to kind of explain that to you, and that helps. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Rather than kind of like getting certain shows that are just focused on something completely off the board, and then the character kind of gets thrown in, and a lot of people don't know about the character like that, or they didn't watch the show enough to care. You know what I mean? um Going back to Loki, we saw a lot of little Easter eggs. I think they were happening a little too fast for me to kind of catch, but anything pop out to you? I can always go back and kind of pull it up.
Um, I didn't really pay attention too much to try to look for Easter eggs this time. I was kind of just taking in what the trailer was about, what Loki's gonna be about.
Hmm.
So I honestly wasn't looking for little things to spot, but yeah,
Let's
we could
see.
definitely like skim through and see what we can find.
So,
Loki's kind of harder though because it's this show so far has dwelled into at least like the Easter eggs are like for like hardcore
yeah,
comic book fans, like people who've read comic books since like the 80s and the 70s and stuff,
they kind of understand the
or like grew up with the
logic.
comics, yeah. Because
They
like there's
understand
like
the logic of the TVA and shit. Yeah.
right, because like there's like little things in
Mm.
Loki from even from season one where only like real hardcore dedicated comic book readers would understand, like these three right here, the timekeepers.
That kind of looks like Thanos in the face.
I think they were designed to look like certain actual like uh beings.
Uh huh.
Because in the first season, one of them looked just directly like Kang,
Mm-hmm.
but like slightly different. And
All
then one
right.
of them looks like a woman. The other one, yeah, that one looked like kind of like Thanos on the right,
Just a little bit, but what's this guy right here?
just a little bit. That looks very robotic, at least
Yeah,
like
because you can see it. Yeah,
so. I would assume that Loki probably took that cyborg android thing out
probably
and
was
used
like
it on that guy.
security. Yeah,
Yeah,
like a little defense mechanism. And right here, it looks like he's stabbing into what seems
it's
to
also
be.
very similar to the uh, the robotic timekeepers from the first season. How they were revealed to just be
Oh
like
yeah,
puppets,
yeah.
pretty
Mm-hmm.
much. Yeah. So
Yeah.
maybe that's like just another one, and then he just like cuts off the head or something.
Let's play this through real quick, just to kind of see where it is. We can. So then he's going into here, and then
Hmm.
there's obviously Kang.
So I
I
think
don't.
that that's like a hidden um wall. I feel like in this moment he's probably trying to convince Morbius, because remember, Morbius has no idea who he is
Hmm.
at the end of the last season. So
Yeah, the first
he's
season.
probably trying to find like every little evidence that, like, Kang is the one, controlling everything, or he who remains is controlling everything.
Mm.
So this is
Yeah,
probably like one of their
because
revealing moments.
also when we had watched Quantum Mania, the end credit scene when they were in the crowd and it was Victor Timely and Loki was kind of still explaining to Morbius. So I think maybe throughout the whole show, maybe not the whole show, but probably the first part of the show, you're gonna see Loki kind of explain to Mobius. I don't know why I keep trying to say Morbius. Try to explain to Mobius basically who Kang is, and that's also a good thing for us too, because for people that are casuals or for people that are just not getting into Marvel, Loki gives you a history lesson on Kang and how he kind of works.
Yeah.
Which that's the thing. This is a Marvel show that gives you the benefit of learning more of what's going on.
I'm not gonna lie, out of all the shows, Loki has been the only important one.
To be honest, like if you really think about it,
And I'm
I
not I'm
mean,
not I'm not even saying that to like put off the other shows, like
yeah, yeah.
saying they're useless or anything. They're interesting stories in their own right. It's just the only series that has any tie into the movies or anything, or any, like, particular storyline that's going on right now in this multiverse saga. Loki's the only show that's consistent with that storyline, or has a part in it as well.
Hmm.
And that, the end credit scene at in
Quantum Mania.
in Quantumanium, solidifies that. That's an end credit scene for a show, not the next movie. So it's like,
Yeah.
but that's like the only show though,
Hmm.
the only
No,
show that has a post credit scene in a movie. So like I said, like Loki's the only like important show to the multiverse saga.
this video is brought to you by CPR Ninjas. If you live in the Central Florida area, then this is a place for you to get CPR certified. CPR Ninjas provides courses in accordance with the American Heart Association 2015 guidelines with AHA certified instructors. At CPR Ninjas, their passion is to provide you with knowledge and skills needed to perform high-quality CPR with accuracy and precision. Javon and Lysandra Washington have been working in the healthcare industry since the mid-1990s and share 35 plus years combined in healthcare.
Siobhan and Lysandra are both registered nurses with diverse backgrounds, which include home care, hospital care, acute care, wound care, hospice care, pediatrics, research, and higher learning education. Together, they share a passion to reach the community, provide education that will save lives, and improve quality of life. As American Health Association instructors, they also share the same vision with the AHA to building a healthier tomorrow.
If you want to get started on a course today, go ahead and email Javon at cprninjas.com, or if you want to call, it's 813-603-6898. Now back to our video.